Hello viewers, today for initial checkout we have a Uniden, a 900 megahertz extended range, 2-line speakerphone cordless phone with caller ID, integrated caller ID at that. This is model EXI7926. Here's a look at the informations on the base. Okay, so let's plug this thing in. I don't have two testing lines, so I'll have to test it individually. Start with line 1. And you'll notice here that the line 1 can also handle both lines with the 4 pins. However, the line 2 is only a 2-pin. Doesn't have that capacity of handling both. Now the rings, we're going to turn the rings on high, both of them. And it's on tone dialing. Here's the information on the adapter. Unfortunately, it was made in China. Hopefully it doesn't break. There's the date code. This would have been from the late 90s, perhaps 1999. I don't know how to read that date code. The battery it came to me with is not the original battery. This is a Rayovac battery. It is the nickel-cadmium chemistry. And it came from batteries plus bulbs. I don't know if that's kind of a date code or not. I don't know how to decode it if it is. And this does not have the foam that deteriorates. This one is still good. Came with the belt clip, which is kind of unusual. The antenna is good, which is also kind of unusual. And it's got the headset jack. Cover is not sitting quite correctly, so we'll have to take a look at that. Now you'll notice the standby screen is different. It shows both lines. And one of my main phones that I use is a 7980. And so this model for me is very difficult to use because the controls at the bottom are different. I'm so used to going to these two buttons for the volume, but this one the volume is over here. I think there's something else that's in a different place too. So, anyways, that's that. So let's begin by calling it up. That's not the ringer I was expecting. Now it says call line 2, which I don't quite understand because I thought I plugged it into line 1. Nope, I plugged it into line 2. Okay, user error. Let's see how line 1 sounds. I believe the base will have a different ring. It's also not the ring I was expecting. Let's turn the handset ringer off if possible. Oh, that was the handset sounding like that? That's weird. Let's take the battery out and let's listen to the bass by itself. So this is line 1. Okay, now I'll switch it over to line 2. Okay, now I'm going to turn the ringers off on the base, and let's listen to just the handset. This is line 2, which is the traditional clatter ringtone. Okay, now I'll switch it over to line 1. And that's not the traditional flicker ringtone. Very interesting. Okay, so let's make an outside call. Call the Farmer Jones cold line. And there's nothing there. That's another user error. I forgot to plug in the testing line. What I really should do is just plug in another splitter so I don't have to keep unplugging and plugging it, but that's another story. There we go. So it's loud. Let's go down to normal. Okay, let's call. Maybe a little bit on the quiet side. Well, maybe not.
With the update for the week of...
No, just the dial tone that sounded quiet. That sounds fine to me now.
Appreciate it.
Whoops, I put it on hold. I was trying to turn the volume up.
And we'll also survive the tropical storm and hope everyone has their power back. Please check.
Sounds pretty clear. Now, I don't think I can do this without losing the call, but I'm going to try. No, that took too long. I was going to try to switch it over real quick, but it took too long. Not to mention, it's hung up on line 2 anyway, so it wouldn't have made a difference. Okay, we'll call the time and temperature cold line for this one. Make sure it actually works before I put it up to the camera. Okay, that's working.
Mortgage needs. You can depend on our expertise. People's United Bank N.A., member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Today is Tuesday, August 11th. People's United Bank. Time, 9:21. Current temperature, 75.
Okay. So that sounds good on both ends of the handset there. Now let's test the speakerphone. For the speakerphone, we'll call the line testing quality, line quality testing, whatever it's called. It's getting late, this number. The line quality test. That was weird.
Fishing in a mountain stream is my idea of a good time.
After the dance, they went straight home. The hostess taught the new maid to serve.
Petty fat lead to wrong some. The show was a flop from the very start.
There was water in the cellar after the heavy rain. They're not listed in the new phone book.
A large size in stockings is hard to sell. The juice of lemons makes fine punch.
Smoke poured out of every crack.
That sounds pretty good.
Rum to the tired heroes.
Those words were the cue for...
it does switch over to the handset. One thing I'm noticing now is the handset charging, and there's hair in the lens, the charge indicator, the status light, it's a lot dimmer than the other lights, which I usually don't see on these phones. Usually those lights have no problem. Okay, so let's go over to the line 1 and we'll test the speakerphone again. Though I tend to think if it worked on line 2, it should work on line 1, because it worked in line 1 on the handset. Not if it worked on line 2. If it worked on the handset, it should work on the speakerphone. It's not very loud, but it's very clear.
Good evening. A bank is a bank is a bank. Until you walk into our bank. People's United Bank N.A., member FDIC. Today is Tuesday, August 11th. People's United Bank time, 9:23. Current temperature, 75 degrees. Sunny today, highs upper 80s, heat index mid-90s, partly to mostly cloudy tonight, slight chance of a shower and a thunderstorm, humid, lows.
Yeah, maybe it's not as clear as I thought it was. That speaker may be on its way out, I'm not sure, but it works. Okay, so let's go back to the other line here and we'll test the numbers. Okay, that seemed to work. We'll switch over to line 2. Do a redial. Okay, that's working. Mute is flashing red, and then hold is solid red, and the normal talk is green. Conference the two together. Okay, so all the buttons work on the base, so let's check all the buttons on here. Can we do a conference on the handset too? Yes, we can. Just dial that real quick, make sure that works. Picked up on the wrong line. Okay, that did work. Plenty of caller ID entries in there. I don't want to delete them yet. Let's take a look at them. We have calls 418 at 442, 417 at 510, at 1251, at 904, 415 at 650, 119, 414, 8:42 a.m., 1:32 p.m., 1:34, 411, 49, 48, 47. It's got a fair bit of calls. Let's see what it got on line 2. Now line 2, there was a call on 10-1, call on 9-19, call on 11-8, 11-7, 11-6, 11-5, 11-3, 10-31, and then it skips to 6-1, and then 5-28, 5-25. So the usage pattern of line 2 is kind of odd, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and delete these. Okay. Let's call the testing phone and record some messages. We're in line 2 right now. This is the speakerphone test on line 2. And now we're on the handset. I didn't necessarily intend to go on the handset, but here we are on the handset. And we'll do a channel change a couple times so you can hear what that sounds like. Okay.
1, new message and 13 old messages. Message 1.
This is a speakerphone test on line 2. Now we're on the handset. I didn't necessarily intend to go on the handset, but here we are on the handset. Channel change.
End of messages.
Okay, so both of those worked. The handset certainly sounds a lot clearer than the speakerphone did, but that's no surprise. There's also a lot of background noise in here, so the speakerphone is not ideal anyways. Okay, we'll do one more test for line 1. Goose! A skunk! Whoops, what a freak show. Getting a little carried away here. Okay.
1, new message and 14 old messages. Message 1.
A skunk!
End of messages.
Okay, so that works on line 1 as well. So that will conclude the video, this video anyways, of the Uniden 900 MHz extended range 2-line speakerphone, model EXI7926.